What's up, guys? I'm Aaron here again with AGP Cars for another new video today. This time we are previewing the Bahrain Grand Prix of 2015. Yeah, Bahrain. What can I say about the Bahrain Grand Prix? Well, it began with China in 2004, as I said in the Chinese preview, that the Chinese Grand Prix was quite a new circuit in comparison to others. And the same can be said about Bahrain, first held in 2004. The first race was won by Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. And last year, of course, was the 10-year anniversary of the inaugural Grand Prix. And for that, they staged a night race, which became the second night race in Formula One after the Singapore Grand Prix. And this year again, we are having another night race in Bahrain. So, the order that I can predict will be Mercedes on top, as I, again, can't really see anyone other than Ferrari challenging them. Ferrari probably will be quite close. They certainly will be the second quickest. But will they be able to put a real challenge on Mercedes? I don't know. The temperatures here will be quite hot, similar to what they were in Malaysia, which is what ultimately gave them an advantage over Mercedes. And it was because of the lack of intense heat in China that kind of caused them to slip back down, and they weren't able to challenge Mercedes. So this time we could see Ferrari mount a quite substantial battle on Mercedes. But from the way the Chinese Grand Prix went, it looks as if Mercedes has an extra gear in hand. Really, they looked like they were in total control and could easily up the pace if they so wanted to. And behind them, then, it will be Williams, I'd say, in 5th and 6th, barring no reliability issues. But I can't see that happening on a Mercedes-powered car. The order of the Williams boys, as with Ferrari as well, Kimi Räikkönen will be wanting to get one over on Sebastian Vettel. And then the Williams boys, well, Massa did outrace Valtteri Bottas in China, but Bottas outraced Massa in Malaysia. So it'll be interesting because I know last year Bottas ended up on top in terms of the points and amounts of podiums, but Massa did have an incredible amount of bad luck last year, which hopefully he will not have again this year. So it'll be very interesting because a lot of people had Massa written off last year after losing quite substantially in the points to his teammate. But I think that it will be quite even this year between Bottas and Massa if reliability stays out of it. Then behind Williams, I would put Lotus, who actually showed great race pace in China. Romain Grosjean finished in 7th place behind the two Williams cars, but they did show excellent signs of race pace and have kind of jumped Toro Rosso to get the 4th quickest car, kind of. So I expect to see them kind of in the bottom end of the top 10, along with Toro Rosso, Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen very unlucky in China not to get 7th position, so it'll be close between Lotus and Toro Rosso, I feel. The Lotus is kind of still to show its full potential in 2015, I suppose, because they've had a lot of reliability issues in changing to the Mercedes power unit this season, so they're still kind of adjusting to that. And then Maldonado has had some bad luck as well, being hit by Jenson Button in China just there last week, and being hit by Felipe Nasr at the first corner of the Australian Grand Prix, and then also having reliability issues in Malaysia. So then Toro Rosso and Lotus then behind the Williams, kind of. Then Red Bull are kind of behind the Toro Rosso. Then after Red Bull, it is the sort of Sauber with Red Bull. I'd put them in the same class as them. Then under them, it is Force India, McLaren, and Manor then as well, rounding out um, the whole grid, I suppose, at the very back. McLaren will probably be a tiny bit faster again because obviously they are making rapid improvements because they are so far behind. So any improvement is really a huge improvement. They will, I can see them. It will be a while still before they're in the points consistently. I'd say by the end of the European season, sort of around Monza Spa, they should be in the points pretty consistently. But that remains to be seen. So that's the order. As in terms of actual racing excitement, I say it should be a lot more exciting than China, as the track is just kind of, it's a better track for overtaking the long straights and relatively slow corners. Will it be exciting? Possibly. It won't be as exciting as Malaysia, I don't think, because that was an incredibly exciting race. That could be the race of the season, in my opinion, because it was that good. Bahrain, of course, last year it did make for one of the most exciting races of the whole season, when Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg fought wheel to wheel the entire race. But then, of course, Hamilton came off on top and won the race last year. So again, I have to say Hamilton will probably get the edge again over Nico Rosberg. Rosberg closed the gap in qualifying last time out in China, but I just think Hamilton has that bit extra in his pocket that he can use to his advantage. And I'm going to tip him for the pole and also for the win. Second place, I will put Nico Rosberg, and then a Ferrari will be on the third step of the podium. Who it is a tough question because Kimi Räikkönen is desperate to get one over on Vettel. He is now 3-0 in terms of race results, and he's also quite down on points. So, I mean, I'd love to see Raikkonen up there because Vettel, and also we have to remember that there has only been 3 drivers on the podium this year. Hamilton, Rosberg, and Vettel have been the only 3 on the podium, and 2 of the races they're in the exact same order. So I'd love to see Kimi Räikkönen be able to beat Vettel in the race and see him manage to get up onto the podium for the first time since South Korea 2013, which is just too long a wait for a world champion to be off the podium. So that would be I'm going to put my prediction down as Hamilton and Rosberg, and then Kimi Räikkönen for the top 3. So I hope you all enjoy the race. It is on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, English-Irish time. So look forward to watching the race, and we'll have a analysis video up shortly afterwards. So until then, it's goodbye and enjoy the F1.